Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Riverdale, Season 1, Episode 12. It's called Chapter 12, Anatomy of a Murder. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. First of all, I have seen Anatomy of a Murder, just because I've been mentioning that as we've been through this, if I've seen the movies that the titles are based on.
It's less than you might think, though. You know, when you look at how many you've seen out of the 12 so far.
It is. They're hitting a lot of stuff, noirs that I've not quite seen, so
Yeah.
stuff to put on the list to watch.
Yeah, maybe some future influxes.
Possibly. But I think the big thing from this episode, I mean, okay, other than the fact that we know who the killer is, but forgetting that for a second, the big thing from this episode is we have been saying since episode 1 that incest is happening.
Yeah.
Now, it turned out that it wasn't the incest that we were suspecting, although I've got a funny feeling that both were still happening, quite frankly.
Yeah, yeah. One does not rule out the other.
it just means Jason Blossom was really into a bit of incest. Whether he knew it or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we find out that the whole grandfather thing where the Blossom grandfather killed the Cooper grandfather, they were actually both Blossoms, and some of the family left and changed their name to Cooper. And honestly, my favourite moment in this entire episode might have been Betty's face when she went, "I'm a Blossom?" Like, oh, it was glorious.
Yeah. So, okay, yes, it is incest, but it's nowhere near the level we were talking about before. Because it's quite far removed.
You sound like her mother trying to justify it.
I just feel like second cousins are, you can marry your second cousin. This is third. This is quite far removed. I'm seeing like on a pure legal sense, they're actually fine. Just putting that out there.
I just there's legality and then there's ugh.
Yeah, but they didn't know, so it's different.
Yeah, but now they have twins coming that are
Yeah.
Blossoms on both sides.
Technically, yes.
Little mutant gingers are coming. Prepare yourself.
I doubt there'll be mutants. Come on.
Hey, Ginger's already pretty mutant-like as it is.
I mean, on a technical level, Ginger is literally a mutation. So
I should shut up. You're a mutant.
Screw you, you Scotsman.
All right. So obviously early on in the episode, FP get arrested last episode. Early on, everyone's like, "Oh, it's FP," but no, it can't be FP because the gun wasn't there. And the kids try and tell their parents, and they're like, "You did what? You broke into someone's house." That goes as you'd expect. In fact, one of the things I liked about this episode is that, and to an extent, this season as a whole, because it happened before with Archie's dad coming to pick him up after he get into some trouble. I feel like some shows would have the kids go off on their own adventures, and like there would never be like the parents would never be brought into it. Whereas here it is literally, oh, Archie comes across like with his friends, comes across a crime scene. No, next scene is all the parents arriving and being like, "What the hell are you doing here, you little shits?" Like,
Yeah,
there was
that's fair.
some realism just there. Where I mean, not that the show is realistic as a whole, just that one specific thing is something I expect them not to be real about, and it just that one little touch felt real.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where you generally allow if it doesn't happen because so many stories, especially TV, it's like, let's just let the kids and the teenagers do whatever they want. Parents be damned.
Yeah. Sometimes you forget they even exist.
Yeah.
In fact, I mean, not to bring up Buffy, but like, I don't think you ever even see Xander or Willow's parents. You might see Willow's mother once, I think, but like.
Yeah, they are basically non-existent.
Yeah, so just credit where some credit is due. But obviously FP is far too obvious. We said this last week, so even when he confesses, I'm like, all right, why is he confessing?
Yeah,
he's not confessing because he's actually done it, and especially when Jughead goes to see him at the jail cell, and he's like, never come back here, go away, and I was like, right. He is pushing him away.
Intentionally driving him away, yeah.
He's pushing him away to make it easier on him. Even if he has done it, that's still what he's doing. He's still, right, his life will be better if he's not near me, so I'm pushing him away. But of course, all episode we're like, oh, right, okay. And obviously the kids don't believe that it's him because they know they didn't find the gun, and so on, and they look into it. They get Joaquin to help them, and they look for clues and all the rest of it. One thing leads to another. They eventually get to the jacket that's hidden in the woods, and they then eventually get to the USB stick that's fallen in the pocket of said
Yeah,
jacket.
I would just like to say I think it's pretty weird that Betty makes him put it on so that she can check the pockets because you're perfectly capable of checking those pockets without putting it on someone.
Especially when it's like the other ginger kid who took his number in the
Yeah,
football team.
it was just like, why are you doing this? We like
She used to get in the mind frame of like Jason wearing it. She has to envision it.
it just seemed weird in the moment to me.
There wasn't much Archie Veronica stuff in this episode. There's just one small moment where they sort of held hands under the table when things were getting real. Also, obviously, when everyone thinks it's FP that's killed Jason, including Jughead, he comes to school the next day and he goes up to Cheryl, and Cheryl starts slapping the shit out of him to the point where like the whole crew, like the whole main crew, have to get up and go and like fight her off.
Yeah. I also really like that, when he's kind of run away and they're looking for him and they're like, oh, we tried the bus station, but it's closed. And well, where's the only place that's open 24 hours? And of course, it's the diner.
Do you know, I liked that? Because everyone was sort of mad at each other at the end of the last episode for, lies and doing things behind backs. I liked it in this one. Like, Archie and Betty start texting each other kind of like old school, like they probably did before, like Betty and Jughead were a couple and things like that. It's like, do you want to go look for him? Let's go look for him. And then Veronica finds out like 10 minutes later, and she's like, wait, you're doing a witch hunt or whatever without me? Right, I'm coming. And it became like the main core group of friends were kind of united because they had to try and rescue Jughead.
It feels like it's actually been a while since we've had, the three of them do stuff. Because it's often been like just paired off, alternate pairings as it went on, but it's often been in twos.
Yeah, I think maybe the only two that weren't together that much were Veronica and Jughead. But even they had a couple of moments here or there.
Yeah.
Like, everyone sort of mixed and matched, and we got... Kevin's kind of the weird sort of fifth one. Like, I feel like he was maybe pushed to the side a little bit. So it was nice in this episode that he was more a part of the group and he was helping. He was doing his sort of junior sheriff routine.
Yeah,
which
definitely.
Was fun. But so they get this thumbstick and they watch what's on it. And we see them react, but we don't get to see what it is.
Yeah, this is maybe one of the few problems I have structurally.
Joe, what's funny about it is that it kind of really missold me because the way they were reacting, especially Betty had this tear run down her cheek first.
Yeah, so it made it seem like it was her family.
Yeah, either that or some but like it felt like it was personal to her. But then they were all crying, so it was like, oh, okay, whatever. I will say this, right? I think we expected, because a lot of mysteries do this, where they'll give you like your 2 or 3 main suspects, your main options, right? And this show did this, and by this episode it was basically boiled down to 2, because we kind of ruled out Betty's dad for the most part, and it was either Clifford Blossom or it was Hiram Lodge. Now Hiram Lodge seemed unlikely because we hadn't seen him yet. It felt weird to pin it on someone who we know is coming to the show next season, so he's clearly not going to be in jail again. He's coming to town. And it almost feels like, I think a lot of shows would want to throw in like a real curveball at the end and be like, no, it was someone you never suspected all along. I respect they just said, you know what, no. It was one of the options. We gave you a few options, it was one of them. Because it makes sense.
Yeah, I just think it was weird for me because in the moment where obviously we were just seeing them react, I was fine with it. But then like a minute later, it showed us the video anyway. And it felt like, why didn't we just see it at the time instead of seeing it after the fact? It just felt weird.
Yeah, I get why it wanted to put it in like the montage as Jughead is doing his narration, right?
Yeah.
The way I would have done it, and this would have solved, I think, your entire problem, is you'd have maybe had them open the laptop, they'd press play, and it'd cut. You wouldn't see the reactions.
Yeah, have their reactions as part of the monologue.
Yeah. But you would you'd understand that they'd watched it, but you wouldn't really have any inclination as to what went on or what they saw. You would just see, it'd just cut to them saying, we need to get this to the sheriff. We need to get him to see this right now.
Yeah.
And then we'd see it then afterwards. But that was But the
Yeah.
actual reveal, the fact that it's Clifford, works for me.
Yeah, no problem with it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not the most exciting option, don't get me wrong. It's like you say, it was one of the options, and as much as you respect that, it means it's not as exciting as just
Because
a
I
curveball.
actually thought they were throwing a curveball midway through because they made it look like it was Mummy Blossom that was the one who. Because the way she
Yeah,
grabs Cheryl when Cheryl tries to ask her questions, it was like, oh, is she the killer? Is she the one who's up to no good? But obviously, they reveal who the killer is because you see Betty like pick up the phone and she phones Cheryl and she's like, get out of that house right now.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, we glossed over the scene where they come over to fetch Polly when they find out when they realise, oh wait a minute, this is incest. We need to go over and get her. And I just wanted because I sort of alluded to it when you were trying to justify it, but it was the different reactions were kind of funny. Polly was just standing there in shock, like holding her stomach the entire like
The most amusing reaction was definitely Clifford, who was like, "Hey, they're the best thing that could possibly have come out of this. Those twins."
I don't know. The mother was trying to justify it. I was just like, oh no,
Yeah,
look,
yeah,
third
but she was
cousins.
trying to talk themselves into it. But like she was maybe trying to talk herself into it as well. Whereas he was just like, "No, this is a blessing. This is fantastic. That is like pure blossom."
Yeah, whereas Cheryl probably feels like her brother committed a. Hold on. Oh, I'm trying to think of a good pun. I'm trying to think of a good pun. Wait, bear with me. Bear with me. Adultery.
What the hell was that?
Incest and adultery, or
I know, but it was awful. I
incest and
thought
affair, or I can't think of a way to combine affair and incest.
this isn't a pun. This is just smashing two words together.
Affair incest.
I had such higher hopes when you said when you pause. You're like, I'm thinking, and then you come up with that shit.
The point I'm being though is that he was having incest with someone else, and she's like, "Wait a minute, I was your incest partner."
Yeah, no, I got that.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. But yeah, so not only the cops come for Clifford, and
Oh, Cliff.
but and both Cheryl and her mum are like, "He's that way. He's went over there to the barn. Go get him." And I like how the mum actually just completely turns on him immediately. It's not even like a question. Like as soon as she never thought for a second he'd done this, but as soon as she finds out he did, it's like, no, go.
Go have him.
Yeah. But when they get to the barn, he has hung himself. He is dead. He has committed suicide, and we see that. And it's funny. I don't think I ever suspected there was something shady going on with the syrup business, but we see there's drugs hidden in the syrup barrels, which I guess it maybe ties to the serpents and like all the product that's moving through the town and all that. And this is like, oh, this is why they're actually so rich, is because they've been smuggling stuff in the syrup for however
Yeah,
many years.
it explains it, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it turns
So
out those syrup wars were actually drug wars, which make a lot more sense in retrospect.
they do. I will say, I think the police could have done a bit of a better job. I think when they were like, "Oh, we got this bag of money and it's got Hiram's initials on it." It's like, yeah, but who gives over a bag of money with their own initials? Come on,
It's a bit
that's like
obvious.
that was really obvious. As yeah, we want you to think this.
Well, to be fair, a couple of characters do say, you know what, this is a bit too neat, a bit tied up in a bow.
They do,
All
but
convenient.
this is why I'm specifically calling out the cops. Like, you're supposed to be detective and detecting this, and you're overlooking that. And frankly, that is unacceptable in any police force, even in a small town.
Yeah. We got some family drama. Archie and his dad had a couple of rough scenes where he's getting pissed at him for like continuing to investigate things, and he thinks he's going to end up dead, and he's like, maybe you should move to Chicago with your mom. Jughead overhears some not mean things, like he's not attacking Jughead, but he's just kind of like, you know what, you keep those Joneses keep like dragging you into trouble, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit awkward, all that kind of thing. Honestly, I actually really liked this episode. I thought it did a good job from the get-go of feeling like it was a big deal. Like it was like everything was building to its conclusion, so everything felt like it was ramping up throughout the episode. And that incest reveal, the whole, oh, they were both blossoms, yeah, those twins are incest, that's why I wanted her to get an abortion. That takes place. That's like a third into the episode. That's really early on, and that just
Yeah,
sets you up
and
for the
I will
rest.
say it makes Betty's dad seem not as evil as he did before
Oh
because it was
yeah,
like he had a. It wasn't just, oh no, I don't approve of this relationship. He had like a legitimate reason to have these
yeah.
thoughts.
Don't get me wrong. I think he should have approached it differently and actually just spoke to her about it.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I will say this: if I have a daughter and I find out, oh wait, you just got impregnated by my cousin, maybe we should talk about this.
Yeah,
Yeah. At least he's more sympathetic than he was before. I don't necessarily agree with all of his methods, but he's
yeah. It's not that you agree with him entirely. It's that you understand why he did what he did now. Whereas before, it just felt like he was doing it for his own selfish reasons. Where now you can see his thought process.
yeah. It was interesting how like the whole family went to get Polly together. They were united for the first time like all season,
Mm.
essentially. Which reminds me, we never really did get to find out what Alice Cooper, what her dark past is.
Yeah, we got a season 2.
That's true. That's true. I've got a feeling she was in a metal band in the 80s. We'll see how it goes, but that's what I'm thinking.
Why not?
Nah, she changed her name. She moved from a small town, northwestern town. She changed her name because her husband was abusive.
Very good.
If you've not seen Twin Peaks, that joke is completely lost on you, but I'm proud of it all the same. So no, that's good. So yeah, Hiram's getting out of prison. Veronica finds that out. There was a couple. There was one nice scene with her mother actually. Where a couple of good scenes. There was one where her mother was like, "Oh, we are guilty," and I'm like, "No, you mean you're guilty." Veronica's actually pretty in the clear for the most part.
Yeah.
And she kind of corrects herself. But the other scene later on when she breaks down when she thinks like, they're caught or whatever, and so yeah, so there was emotional beats. There was a nice general build to the conclusion throughout the entire episode. It felt like things were going to come to a head, such to the point that when Jughead was doing his narration at the end, I actually had to double check and make sure there was an episode next week because I felt like this could really be the last episode of the season. This could be the bittersweet moment to end on, and then see you next year.
Do you think we'll get Hiram next week? Maybe right at the end.
They announced his casting a few weeks ago. I think maybe that's why they announced it.
That's what I'm considering as well.
Because they'd already shot his scene, maybe. Like, because they do this a lot where they'll announce a cast member, but they've already shot what they were doing, like, weeks and weeks ago. I'm wondering if they did shoot a scene, maybe even just the final scene. Like, it's literally...
I can see it being that, yeah.
And he shows up, so I can see that being the case. But maybe not. Maybe... Sabrina.
It's possible. Look,
Do you know what, Joe? That would, if you want to hook me for season 2. If you want to hook me for season 2, you say that a new family's just moved into the town at the end of the episode. They're called the Spellmans.
like you're not coming back for season 2 anyway.
I know. I've enjoyed the show. And obviously I'm expecting another mystery of some kind, and it seems the next time on seemed to indicate there was going to be some
Yeah, a
new
little
mystery.
promo at the end. It says like, "Oh, next time, new secrets, new mysteries." So it's like, okay,
Which is really weird.
episode.
Because we talked about this briefly before we started recording. It reminds me a lot of season 4 of Angel. Just to refer to our Whedon show for the second time in the same video.
Yeah, you can never have too many, can you?
But that season did this thing where the season wrapped up all its plots in the second last episode, and then the last episode was actually like almost a pilot for the next season. It was like, here's all the new stuff that's going to be happening next season.
Yeah, like it's kind of like almost the reverse of, you know how a lot of cable shows now do, like, you know, you have your 10 episodes, 9's like your conclusion, and then 10's like an epilogue. Whereas instead of this being like an epilogue, it's just, no, this is like episode 0 of the following season almost.
I can see it being 50-50 actually. I mean, because they put all that stuff in the next time on because it's the exciting new. I can see a lot of like Cheryl's stuff is probably trying to deal with the fact that her dad's A, a killer, and B, now dead, and so on. And we know FP's still in prison because he did obstruct justice and lie to the cop and so on. So he's still arrested for some stuff. And like, you know, I can see the various things.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I enjoyed the episode though. Lots of fun moments. Some of the facial expressions, mainly from Betty. I feel like Betty gives me the best facial expressions. It's not a coincidence that Lily Reinhart, who plays her, memes herself every week. She takes gifs of the episode and does memes on Twitter, and it's kind of perfect for it. My favourite one this week was when they're all crying looking at the laptop and then she closes it. She put on Twitter, when one of your acting friends says, "Look at my show reel," and then you realise they're in porn. And it was,
I think she starts playing up some of these now. Like she overdoes some of them just because she knows, I've got something for this one.
possibly. Yeah, do you think she thinks of the meme on set? She's like, "Oh, I've got one for this."
Yeah. I can see it.
Maybe. I don't know. It's working though. It doesn't seem out of the realm of the show. So no, I enjoyed this quasi season finale, but the actual season finale, but first episode of the next season in spirit next week. And come on, Sabrina, supernatural. This is how you escalate it. Season 2, you bring in supernatural stuff.
You might as well.
Supernatural forces.
Look, it's on the CW. So, and I do believe, care if I'm wrong, but Supernatural is the lead into this show.
It's perfect.
It is.
And what you do? See when the season 2 episode premiere launches, either in fall, maybe it's mid-season, have Supernatural on before it, and you have that episode of Supernatural be about a witch. You tie it in, you have a thematic link, so people who are watching Supernatural go, "Oh, there's a witch coming up on Riverdale as well," and then you keep on.
Yeah. I'm actually really interested to see where this airs next season. Like if it'll be mid-season or if it'll move.
It feels like something that they would want to be a full season, but at the same time they have so many shows on CW because they keep renewing everything that
they do, and they only have 10 hours a week.
Yeah, so I don't know. I could see it being full season, maybe.
Yeah.
I could see it being full season, and I could see Legends and Black Lightning, in terms of the DC stuff, being 13 each and being one before Christmas, one after Christmas.
Could do.
Kind of thing. I can see it going that way. And splitting it up that way. Because iZombie, if it comes back, will probably be a 13 episode one again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. But anyway, here we go. I will say this. If we do bring in Sabrina and she has Salem, right? Obviously, I don't expect a talking cat on Riverdale.
Not yet.
I mean, I'd love it. Don't get me wrong. But what I think they'll do, at least this is how I would think they would do it, is you have the cat, right? You have Salem the cat, and you kind of just subtly imply that he's intelligent, but you never confirm it or deny it. Like you just
have Sabrina talk to it. Talk to the cat, like it's, can talk back and almost have a conversation with the cat.
Well, even that seems a bit goofy to me. I was just thinking more like, you have say Archie comes over to Sabrina's house, right, and he's saying something, and you have the cat just sort of turn and look at him as if he's reacting. But it's ambiguous. Like it could just be a coincidence that the cat's looking at him like that, because cats sometimes give you funny looks because it's just how they are.
Yeah.
But
I feel like you say it's goofy, but I feel like it'd just be a quirk. Oh, she talks to a cat.
I mean, I talk to my cats, I suppose. So I mean, that's that's fair.
Yeah, exactly. But just does it a little bit excessively, just more than normal.
Yeah, but she's actually telepathic. Are the cats telepathically responding to her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can get behind that. And you have Fred Andrews have the hots for Aunt Zelda or whatever. What?
You've got to have the cat be part of the detective crew.
So of course
she goes. She goes. Oh, the cat told me this happened, and all of the rest of them are like, what?
Oh, it's perfect. It ties into even this is kind of Twin Peaks-ish because it becomes the log lady. The cat's the log.
Yeah.
Sabrina's the log lady and the cat's the log. Oh man, we've sussed it.
This is perfect.
All right.
We're going to be so disappointed when this doesn't happen.
I know. Season 2 is going to be so boring compared to what we just came up with. So let us know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff. We did just launch a Patreon today, so if you want to support the channel and help us out and, keep the fact that we do a ridiculous amount of TV reviews every week keep going up, by all means, go over there and check it out. Patreon.com/MailedFuzzTV. On Patreon. But otherwise, guys, like, subscribe, all that stuff. All of it helps us out. Thanks for watching. Have you got any vanilla?